a legend, but I don't want to sound humble. I don't want to sound cocky.
How are you doing, sir? This is Detective Tony
I'm
from the
great.
government.
Newport's beautiful.
It says, I'll tell you something, Mr. Jones. It says legend nowhere on your chart. I'll tell you that much if you're worried about that. No one
What
else
you
has been
say?
calling you that. It says legend nowhere. I've interviewed a lot of people about you. I tried to call you.
People. What?
There's no legends, no legend referrals, no adjectivifications of you that would suggest legendariness, and no one has had this to say about you. So, if you're concerned that people might be identifying you as a legend, I would not worry about that, sir.
Okay, you right. I mean, uh, the local scene, but I don't know. I don't. I'm not like cocky. I'm not like full of myself like that. So I would never,
Are you saying, sir? Now, sir, I do have you down here as possessing some kind of male genitalia. We have an asterisk here that says something about a donalingus, which you were very coy about the last time I asked you, and I will be asking you again about that, sir. But when you keep repeating that you are not at all cocky, are you telling me that you have no male genitalia whatsoever, and in fact something else, or something nonetheless,
nah.
please, sir? Because I
Well,
need
when
to
I
write
say
this down.
that, when I say that, I say like I'm not full of myself. I'm not like,
You don't have a big
you
penis,
know,
sir. Is the penile? The
nah,
penile is
nah.
on the
I'm not.
small scale.
Nah, I'm not full of myself. I mean, well, I don't want to say that. I mean it that like I don't want to. I don't brag. I don't like to brag. I don't like to boast. But every but everything is cool. I mean, like I said, I'm gonna go swimming today later
Okay,
on.
sir. Well, you never said that, but let's start with the basics here. Can I just get a height and a weight and a size of the penile with the girth and the length,
Well,
just so I
I'm
can put
six
this on your
feet.
chart, sir? If you're saying you
I'm
do,
like
in
six
fact,
feet.
6 feet.
I'm
Okay,
like
all right. What's the
I'm
weight
like
on there?
230
Woof,
muscle, muscle.
woof,
Um,
woof.
and
We've got some interesting, because we have some
another.
photos. We have some photos that suggest a lot of fatty tissue, sir. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I mean, t- well, photos lie, and I feel like I improved.
I
I've
don't
been
think that's the
improving.
phrase.
I've been improving. So I've been working out a little bit. I'm almost got a six pack.
What kind of workouts? What kind of workouts have you been doing, sir?
Suicides.
Okay, so do I need to call a wellness check on you because this is not a
No, no,
workout?
no, no. Suicides are like when you on the court, you run from one end to the other court. You run from one. Yeah, you go from one end. So say if you're on a basketball court, you run from the free throw line back. You run from the 3-point line back. You run from all the. You keep running from points and points on the basketball court, and they call suicide. They call suicides, and
Okay, so
they're
yes,
real good for you.
I'm actually seeing some heavy notation of you talking about suicides a lot I've got many complaints about some tired stand-up material, and in many of these complaints it does mention a reference to suicides, which is kind of, something that people do in high school, okay? If they're on the basketball team, we don't have any evidence of you ever having been on any professional team sport, even in high school or anywhere else.
No, I
So
do. I got
if this,
pictures
and
of.
then
I
we
got
also have a
pictures
lot of
of.
notations about, although you have spoken much about the suicides, no one's ever seen you do one. So um,
Oh
I,
well,
I'm just going to tell
so
you straight up what's
I'm
on
gonna
your
make
chart.
a. I'm gonna make. I'm gonna make a video and I'm gonna post me doing suicides.
Oh, that would be. I think that would be great for you if you do have a career in entertainment or tutorials or of any shape and form. Because sir, when I called you this morning, okay, and it's not this morning, it's late afternoon. It sounds like you're just waking up over there. Is that true?
Not really. I'm just, I woke up 2 hours ago. I'm just chilling.
Have you been looking? Are you collecting unemployment, sir?
True, hell yeah, getting that money.
Okay, and are you aware of the questions that you answer on your unemployment, such as, have I been ready and able to work? Have I been looking for an occupation? Would you comply? Would you say that you have been complying with these? Have you been ready and able to work? Have you been trying to work? Have you been working out?
Well, the only thing is that my old job, Panera Bread, they want me back, but I can't work because I don't have an ID. So I have to get an ID, but I don't have my Social Security card, and I don't have my birth certificate. So I got to get that. But also, too, though,
and what steps have you taken to get those things, sir?
It's just overwhelming, but it's like I got to do it. But it's like also, though, it's like
quick Google search.
Unemployment, though. Unemployment been giving me so much bread every week. It's like, it's like crazy. It's
that
like
Panera don't need you. That the people that need actual bread from a place like Panera couldn't use someone with extra bread on their own body, in their own pocket, time to spare, obviously. Couldn't use you on the front lines, healthy, six-pack?
No. I mean, I don't know. They don't pay me enough. Because, unemployment, I get a lot of money a week. I get like $800 a week. But like when I was working at Panera, it'll take me 2 weeks to get. Yeah. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Like, yeah. I mean, no, it doesn't. I mean, do I feel bad for the front workers who working? Yeah, I do. But
they're not fun workers, sir. They're the front line saviors.
Yeah.
Saviors of society.
But I do feel bad that they gotta work and stuff.
SOS.
But I mean, I'm never gonna see this kind of money the way I've been seeing it ever in my life. Why? That's not true. Cause I actually got a secret way to make $10 million. So I got this new app that I'm doing. So money's not a problem for me.
Okay, tell us more about that, sir.
I just got this. I'm gonna make this crazy good app, and I'm gonna make lots of money for it. So
you're gonna make money for it? You're gonna be working for the app now, sir? At Panera to pay the app? You're gonna make $10 million for a crazy app? Okay.
Yeah, I got this nice dating app that's gonna be better than all the dating apps ever.
Okay, tell us a little bit more about that, sir.
Well,
I have no app experience on your chart here.
Yeah, it's under wraps, but let's just say that I was thinking about this app while I was sleeping, and this app is gonna be the best app when it hits the market. And I'm excited about it.
Okay, so you're gonna need to unwrap that app because I need to write this down on the chart.
No, yeah, well, I can't. I gotta put some copyrights on it and stuff. But
sir,
it's very.
Sir, there could be someone at your door to take you away right now if you don't tell me exactly what the premise of this app is.
Let's just say that it's very ingenious. It's very ingenuous. Yeah.
Ingenuous.
No, it's very.
You know
genius.
What ingenious means, sir? It means not genius.
Well, it's the opposite. It is genius because it's once I say if I was talking to somebody, I would talk to if I was talking to someone in person, I would talk to them and they have to keep it a secret. It's very secret. I cannot let this cat off the bag, but I got to talk to people.
Okay, it's called Snapchat, sir. It's called Snapchat. It's already been created. You mean you write messages and they get deleted? No, and it's a secret, and your girlfriend can't find it and can't say, "Hey, you've been pooning nanny over there."
No,
it's already been done.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying
to break it to you.
No, that's not that. It's
okay,
not
well
that.
then explain it to me, sir.
I will tell them about it in secret. I didn't say that the thing is about secrets. I'm
Okay, well, if
saying
you're
that
gonna be an ingenue, if you're gonna be an entrepreneur here and now instead of a retired
yeah.
stand-up comedian, I'm gonna have to write
No,
the details of that
no, I'm
down
not.
on your chart, sir.
I'm
So
not.
why don't you tell me
Well, I'm not.
exactly what your app is gonna be, what it's gonna do, how you're gonna do it? Okay?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm with this app. I got to be more because it's very, but like I
No,
said,
I don't know, sir.
no one ever. All I'm gonna say is that this is gonna change the game. This is gonna change the game of life, and I'm not like, I'm not, I'm really proud of myself, because my mind is very creative, and but no, I gotta keep it in the bag. But like I said, I would tell people secretive, but they have to keep it a secret. But
This is the most
it's gonna be
confidential
very,
call
it's
you'll
gonna
ever
be
be on,
very
sir.
well. No, well the thing about that is like you can't let the cat out the bag. Like I've been,
There's no
like
cats here,
because I
sir.
feel like, because I feel like this thing I got is gonna be, I got, but
Is the
when
app
it's
a cat
time
in the
to,
bag? Is that the whole thing, sir?
no, 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 let's just say
Are you keeping cats in
they got it.
bags and calling it a dating app, sir? We will send someone to your home right now. We've
Well,
got
I'm
reports of
not
you
gonna
doing
give
things
too.
like this. Getting words
I'm not.
confused, getting meanings confused, getting all dating situations confused.
No, I'm not. I'm not gonna give too many details away. But let's just say that
Women don't
you're
like
gonna.
that.
This will be
Cats in
something,
bags, they don't like that.
huh? Well, I do love cats. I miss cats, and cats are cool. I
Why
mean,
do you miss cats, sir? Is that because you got bags of dead cats in your house? And you're confused about what app technology is? Is that what you're saying to me, sir?
we getting you get we. Well, let's just say this. You get. I'm not gonna say you're getting hot or warmer yet, but let's just say, let's just say, let's just say, okay, okay. But like
So
I
you're
said,
saying either I'm right or I'm extra or I'm absolutely right. If I know the
I
game.
could show
It's
you
cold
better
and
than I
hot.
could tell you. So,
I don't
huh?
want to see a bunch of dead cats in a bag, sir. That'll take
No,
me
no, I
back to
love,
I've seen it before. I don't want to see it again.
no, I love animals, and there's an animal that I'm gonna see soon too.
Okay. Well, what animal is that, sir? But just tell us what animal, but we're getting right back to that because you're gonna have to tell me what's the
Well,
animal,
you
sir.
know this animal. You know this animal. Well, there's this
Excuse me?
animal that
A famous animal?
that you probably, huh?
What's the animal,
Oh, you look.
sir?
Oh, you. Oh. Well, let's just say that it's black and it's real fat.
Are you calling yourself an animal, sir?
Oh, I'm not black, but okay, and I'm not real fat. You know what? That really hurt my feelings.
Well, I'm sorry, sir. I'm looking at your chart and, the
Yeah, that really
measurements,
hurt my
the
feelings.
colors are suggesting otherwise. But, that's why I'm talking to you. That's why I'm investigating your chart here, because there seems to be many indiscrepancies. So, okay, you're going to meet a fat black animal, but you don't want to be one. Okay, all right, fine. I don't know what animal you're talking about then. But just tell me something about this app so that I can confer that I know that you're not keeping poor cats locked up in bags thinking that this is going to be some kind of dating thing and these animals are dying in the bags and I don't have to send a whole team over there, okay? Can you just tell me a basic layout without giving away the technology of the app, just a basic for your chart, so this is purely confidential. Sir?
Gone.
What? Wow, wow. You think his phone died? Well, we'll find out. because I have a lot of questions. I'm not even getting into it. I'm getting derailed by this whole cat app thing. And what fat black animal do I know that's
Hey,
not
this is Tyrone Jones. I'm sorry I missed your call.
phone died.
Call me back or leave a message.
I mean, I got so many questions about the 4th of July and about the incident, the $20 incident with the woman.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I've got so many follow-up questions for Steve, Ricardo, for Tyrone. Well, we'll give him some time to charge his phone. I'm sure he will.
The viewers are just dying to know the rest of the story here.
Yeah, I wonder what this app's all about.
Yeah.
No one's ever going to know. This app is never... This is like Tyrone's greatest jokes of all time. His greatest jokes of all time. And it's like he really will think of the joke and like, but then he'll get secretive about it preemptively to the point where like he kind of half remembers what he was thinking when he made up the joke. And then he's like, no, this is my new stuff. I got to keep this under wrap. But really, he's just entirely forgetting the joke. And I'm like, no, flesh it out. Like, tell me the idea because I'll remember it. And like, then you'll remember it. And you can like build the new joke.
No.
And all his under wraps, top secret, best jokes of all time have never come to fruition.
You know, maybe he wants to just sign an NDA. Just like the app.
They get replaced by Yelp jokes.
Yelp joke.
Like he had this superhero joke. We should ask him. That's a good question for the detective to ask him.
What happened to your superhero joke?
Yeah. What happened to your greatest joke? Because I swear, when he answers, he'll be saying it's a secret, but you'll be able to tell that he no longer knows what the joke was. And
maybe that is a meta joke. Maybe that is his greatest joke.
That's hope and pray for Tyrone because that's when you better say it again. Write it into the authorities that be and argue for the comedic ingenious of Tyrone Jones. Someone's got to do it. And obviously from his chart, I don't know who that detective is. He hasn't called me, but I mean, I can't believe people aren't saying he's a legend. I've heard that at least before.
I've heard it before. A couple times.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Definitely a legend.
Huh?
Mostly from Tyrone Jones.
Yeah, well, definitely. Like,
yes.
Yeah. Mainly from Tyrone Jones. Yeah.
Do you know what I was talking about when I was like, there's a drop of water in the background of the show?
Mm-hmm.
And you were like, oh, what are you talking about? And I'm like, I hear that. And then when I listened back to the show, there was a drop of water in the background.
Drop of water?
Yeah, it was like, boop. It was like, boop, like a drop of water going into a deep well, like every like 20 minutes. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking with me? You know that you have to be doing that. Where does that come from?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know.
The pipes.
That's what you said before.
Maybe the thousands of pipes are behind me, dude.
No, it's like in
that. Oh no, that's this. That sounds like a drop to you.
Yeah,
I could hear that. I could
hear that.
Yeah, that I heard that.
Like,
I thought
need
it was
to oil
like
up
you
my,
doing
my
like a
mic thing
weird sound effect in the. See?
Oh, yeah, okay, that.
It's like a drop into a deep well.
It's kind of cool though, right? You like it?
It kind of is, but I'm like, why are you doing this and then like lying about it? Like you're trying to do some subliminal fucking like trick on me.
I can't stop hearing it.
Void.
Yeah, I know. That's
now
like
I can't
the
stop
void
hearing
is
it,
the
dude.
backdrop
Holy shit.
of antisocial. You're supposed to intro the show. You know,
I
know it's not really a show.
We started off with Tyrone's thing, dude. So I haven't had a chance, but yeah. Welcome to another episode of Antisocial Conditioning here on I don't know. Give me a number. JLS something. I don't know.
JL, yeah. Let's make up a fake radio station.
Wait,
to
I
send
thought we
people
were
to
W.
if we actually get our audience to even know that we exist here in whatever format.
So it wasn't
Still
the best
not
intro, dude. But anyways, here coming live is Jarva and Lauren Pespisa, dude. Great. How is that a better intro, dude?
No,
you fucking shitting all over my fake voice here, dude.
But you gave half of a fake number away. Yeah. In your radio,
I should have finished though. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Arguably not. I think that the best thing to do is nothing.
Nothing.
That's what
I like doing
think
nothing most of the
watching
time.
The Real Housewives for as long as you can, like staying in bed. The one thing about doing absolutely nothing and refusing to move and trying to live in bed all summer watching The Real Housewives or sleeping, or listening to Cover to Cover with Chris Frangiola, my favorite.
But that's like doing stuff, though. Everything
It's
is
almost
doing
is,
stuff.
but then your body starts to
melt.
It's like your body is like in pain from like not moving at all and trying to become a slug. And it's like, as much as I want to become a slug, I still have these bones on the inside of me.
Ew.
And they start to like rebel. They're like, no, you need to get up and move and do things. And I'm like, no.
Is that why today you seem like your body is like, it like hurts, dude? You're barely, you were like, you came in all like low and like.
I actually feel better today.
That's good.
Because I gone up and
have you not been exercising?
It didn't last long. No. Which is like, that's like my number one thing for my like
we
state
used to
of
do
mind.
Some workout
yeah, you remember
videos.
when we used to play soccer all the time?
Yeah, I know.
We were gonna do my mom's workout videos, but then shit hit the fan.
Really?
Well, in the world, and I had to go be in the world.
Oh yeah. Okay. Can I ask you a couple questions about last week?
Me?
Everyone here.
Yeah, sure.
How has the Mel situation progressed?
Oh, yes, I'm curious to know as well.
The Mel,
used to be a famous piano player.
He's still a famous piano player.
I don't think that we even got we went different places.
Okay?
That Mel is doing okay. Mel is here in the studio somewhere outside of the studio.
I'm gonna go get that Corona from the fridge before he does.
That's smart. I have a lot of follow-up questions for correspondent, third man of the panel, allegedly, for the new Avengers Social Conditioning, Steve Ricardo, who could give a fuck about this show, obviously.
All right, well. Get him, Jarva.
What?
Get him, Jarva.
Drag him in again.
Well, it's like, I'm not going to drag him in. It's like, you say you want to do a show. I'm trying to, like, find a capacity for you to be a productive member of the show beyond axing if we're live on Facebook or not and saying that everything's crazy. I tried to get him to be an independent journalist. He was very non-independent. He came in the room trashing me, trashing everybody.
I think he
got upset about raccoons and left the show, which was a joke on me. They projected it out to everyone else and said a bunch of, like, it's like, no, you got upset. And you're upset about raccoons. And then you're going to say all this shit and say, that anyone's making fun of Mel. Nobody was making fun of Mel. It's like, if the joke's on anybody, it's on you, but you are trying to, like, I don't want to talk about Steve Ricardo when he's not here. I will if he's not going to be a part of the show, if he's not going to be my manager, if he's not going to be an independent broadcaster, I can find a way for him to be an entertaining, morally superior prima donna, but it's like, I don't know why. I'm still trying to find a way to make him entertaining where he just wants to, like, throw a damp, wet towel known as his personality on every show.
That's me.
Well,
I think you bit off more
than
you could chew with that
now.
one.
Is that mean? I don't know.
I think there was a lot of chaos ensued. He may have bit off more than he could chew. Sometimes you can't come into the show with like a plan.
He tried, but it's like,
and
with something that we talked about, and I think that he would do good as a news journalist with giving a talk, but it's like you got to hang in there and get to somewhere. You can't go off on raccoons and then project outward on everybody and leave the show and then be like, you got to delete this show, get this show. It's like Steve Ricardo is like, it's like if he's supposed to be my manager or like a member of my show, like I need a new fucking manager.
Jarva can have a manager
to defend. Well, that's what I've also decided. That's what I've always read.
Are you manageable?
Like, maybe this is what a good manager would do. Would tell me like not to do what I'm doing, cease and desist, delete all evidence of anything that I've done, and remove myself from the situation. Because that's Steve Ricardo's advice for me, which is great.
He has been in the scene for a very long time.
Yeah, okay.
Well, all right.
What's your point?
I don't know.
How are things?
He's also working in a lunchroom cafeteria.
So what, dude? I was just saying, dude.
I would actually.
Your manager, he's backing you up, dude.
My manager is a lunch lady who doesn't believe in me.
He believes.
His other, whatever. I don't need to. I mean, I will. If I don't ever get to ask any of my follow-up questions to, poor stands that Steve Ricardo has taken against me during the program, then I will do shows just talking about him and citing. I'll go and rewind and I'll go through all the shows
is that a notebook
everything.
Is that a notebook of notes you've taken on Ricardo?
A lot of it's Ricardo. A lot of it's Ricardo. There's different questions for different people.
Tyrone's paperwork's in there.
Yeah, Tyrone's paperwork's in there too.
And will you give out the phone number so people do? Are we live? Since Steve isn't here to ask the question,
we are live.
We are live.
But I am no personality Lauren today.
Well, you wanted to talk about something.
Did I?
Yes.
Do I?
Do you?
What do you want to talk about? I want to talk about something with you, and I want to talk about something with all three of us. So what do you want to talk about?
I don't even know what I want to talk about.
I'm not going to bring it up.
What is it? Oh, was it about the psyops and the protests?
She's like,
man, I don't have the energy to get into that today. And also, given the situation in Portland last night, the last thing I want to be doing is casting sort of any lens on the human rights issues that are going on there right now with the way they're just black bagging random protesters on the street.
Wait, what's going on in Portland?
Oh, the protesters they brought in federal agents, but they're unmarked and they just keep dragging people off the street and giving them the rough ride and then bringing them to jail, interrogating them and letting them go. And it's pretty scary because they're super armed and they got it's kind of like National Guard and stuff. And the Department of Homeland Security has verified that yes, they did send them there, but even the Portland local police didn't really want them there, I guess. And it's a bunch of bullshit. It's this is where the shit's going down is Portland now. It was Seattle, it was it was different places. Now it's Portland, and it's they're just getting federal government is getting more and more overreaching more and more. What I was talking about was one specific video of a protester being grabbed off the street, where I thought that was almost a staged video just because of the way the protester acted when they showed up, and also the way they didn't respond to the NLG or ACLU who was observing, and and the setting, there were nobody else around. It was weird. It was a filmed thing. So it was almost like an extraction, as Sophia was saying. We were talking about this more than a footage, but I don't want to really bring that was just one video that went viral. The rest of the situation is just full of live streams and other stuff that is also horrific.
Wait, hold on. I'm not sure if I was listening totally correctly.
I'm not even capable of talking about this correctly right now.
Officer,
it's not
came
police
up
officer.
To. Oh, okay,
it's a federal militarized.
Okay. They came up to a protester and put them in a black bag and took them away.
Yeah, well,
is that what happened?
Not black bagging is a term for taking somebody to an undisclosed location.
Okay,
that. A lot of times it's pulling the hood over their eye kind of thing. But I mean,
but not literally.
Well, sometimes it involves a literal kind of black mask or bag, especially in other countries when we do it. But in this case, it wasn't that so much as it was just like they just pulled up and grabbed somebody. And they've been doing this, actually. There's plenty of other videos of this. This just happened to be the one that went all around. And a lot of these further videos I've seen are actually far more chaotic and full of people, and people are yelling out their names. Everybody, it's like more frantic. And so it was a strange video, but I'm not actually going to be discrediting it. Like, I haven't done my research. It was just my thought I had on it, and that's what Herd thought I should bring up. But actually, what I should be bringing up is the crackdown in Portland and how the police are, like, it's not even the police, it's federal law enforcement is like, it's like when we have the National Guard out in Minneapolis. It's the same thing, but it's like actually like way worse too, because they're doing different tactics than they were in Minneapolis. It's escalating. It's escalating out there. Is what I'm saying. So that was like a conversation we had last night, me and her, while we were drinking. So I go off on my conspiratorial tangents, but this is actually extremely.
We might have more conspiracies later when Eric Spooner calls in.
I love conspiracies. I go all day on conspiracies.
He's great because there's a big one.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to lead into that.
Furniture.
Oh, I saw that.
Wayfair.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
Dude.
that's QAnon though, right?
So like I got.
That's QAnon.
That's what?
That's a part of a QAnon conspiracy.
I don't know what a QAnon.
Are you talking about Wayfair?
Yeah, Wayfair.
So
dude,
is Eric Spooner into QAnon?
I don't know.
It's
know.
a
Into all of everything.
It's
wow.
not.
He's like,
What's
he
QAnon?
likes-
What's
he likes
QAnon?
QAnon has been this ongoing Trump, sort of almost like Trump is it's been this ongoing conspiracy theory on message boards. I'm not the best person to interview about this, but from what I've seen, where it's extremely racist, white supremacist, as well as it draws like takes random clues from the media and like makes into thinking that Trump is actually like saving the country and stuff. And they have a lot of like Pizzagate was part of QAnon conspiracy lore. It's like lore. People are weaving this lore about the world right now that is so far off from what's actually happening. And it's usually white guys in their parents' basement. And there's supposedly some guy that's like in the government that is QAnon and like posting these things, and everybody finds these connections. Like,
yeah, but that's been happening since like the invention of the internet.
well, no, I know, but this is like this ongoing. Yes, I know, and sometimes that can be fun. That's like to me, it's like almost like an augmented reality game.
Yeah.
If it was harmless,
exactly what it is.
If it was harmless, it would be an augmented reality game. But there have been QAnon researcher participants, whatever you want to call it, that have gotten violent because of the way this led them to be thinking and radicalize them towards the right. So, I mean, I'm not saying that we should shut down free speech. If you want to post that, aliens are currently up Donald Trump's butt right now, like, that is fine with me. I don't care if it's true or not. It's not that. It's that it's like this has actually been like sort of pushing people to the right, and it's like completely irrational stuff.
Can I confess something to you guys?
You're
somebody was
QAnon.
No. Yes. Somebody was telling me about that whole thing, the furniture thing.
Yeah, the Wayfair thing.
And the first time they told it to me, I thought that they were making furniture out of people, dude. So I thought we had a Soylent Green situation.
Like a Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah, dude. So like I got someone, dude. I got somebody seriously trying to tell me like, yo, that like this is what's happening.
You would love that.
And I'm like, yeah, and like my brain went straight
you were like,
to like
starting to order
yo,
things
I'm
from
like,
Wayfair. You're like,
nah,
does this lampshade be
Oh.
a person?
No, dude, I was like, I seriously, I'm like,
Well,
yo,
Eric-
this is like some Soylent Green shit. Like,
if Eric knows more about this, I think he should call in because I've got questions too.
Yeah, we got a couple
Wait,
minutes.
so how could QAnon be a person
It's supposedly either a person or a group of people, and it's not
that's making Trump actually good for America?
Well, they think that there's all these different. They have all these different. They like Hillary. They're very anti-Hillary Clinton, which is fine. I hate Hillary Clinton too. But there's all sorts of different conspiracies that this weird QAnon story has gone, and it's all anonymous, like posting. It's not like somebody's come out on TV and been like, I'm QAnon, but people suspect that it's either somebody in the administration or somebody in the military. There's different. Yeah, there's this whole. I mean, and this is also what I know just from talking to people about it. I actually have not
Sounds
read
like a
about
disease.
it. Yeah, it kind of is.
I'm
it's like a thought
QAnon.
disease.
Or I'm wrong.
This Eric Spooner confirmed not to be QAnon.
Okay, so at least we can check.
So you can identify as QAnon.
No, you really kind of can't.
I'm Puerto
I mean,
Rican.
it's like
I'm
anonymous.
QAnon, but then it's one guy, like as if all Puerto Ricans were born of one big fat Puerto Rican in the sky.
No, not really, because QAnon claims to have knowledge.
Donald Trump.
QAnon claims to be specific.
I don't know. I'm trying.
He doesn't claim to be anyone specific, but he claims to be. It's
Trying
not
to
like
understand.
it's not like. I mean, anybody, I guess, feasibly could post as I'm not actually sure how the whole.
Is it like anonymous?
It's kind of like anonymous. It kind of spun
where
out.
everyone's
but
like, hey, my buddy, he is anonymous.
But like it's like bad.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like it's like it sucks.
Nobody wants to be QAnon.
No, well, nobody wants
like
to
Banksy.
be. Nobody wants to be QAnon because people think that QAnon is like an insider, right? Like, so it's it's not like average people
Like
can.
Deep Throat?
Yeah, it's like Deep Throat, right? But it's like of such absurd stuff, and then people keep thinking they see symbols in the media that are like referencing what's going on, like it's speaking to the QAnon.
Oh, I kind of like those though, dude.
I know, me too. It's actually I haven't even.
Oh, so the messages of Donald Trump being great, it's just like kind of like the way thing.
No, like they will say that like
subliminal messages.
They will make predictions that are usually end up coming about like, well, this is Donald Trump's actually doing this because of this, and it's like this whole elaborate conspiracy theory behind it. I actually don't particularly know. Like this is what I just gather from talking to people. I would love for Eric, if he's an expert in QAnon, I would love to actually ask these questions.
How do you spell this?
Q? Anon, but like a lot of high level people are into it too.
ANON.
Okay, I'm gonna say one thing right now and just react naturally. Q and off.
Q and off.
That's
yes,
the best.
That's the
I
best.
like it.
Q and off.
I'm queuing off
I like
all
it.
the time.
No, that's
What does
perfect.
that
Q and off.
What does it mean? I don't know what any of it means.
I don't even know what I'm talking
That
about.
scares
right
me.
now,
I
but-
want Q and on. I don't want Q and off. That sounds worse.
So
I don't know.
QN. So what does that stand for? QN on.
Q. No, it's Q
Questions?
anon, like anonymous, like anon.
Oh,
But it's
that was
no, we don't. I don't
spelling
think
out
they don't
loud
claim.
job.
They don't
Lauren.
claim to stand for. Yeah, I know. I'm like Q anon.
Yeah, anon is not a letter.
So they have a weird symbol too, I think, and it's weird because a lot of law enforcement are into it. So they like think that Trump is kind of the savior. So there's a lot going on with ties to that. You'll see them rocking their patches. I think that some guy at
There's
Fox
a patch.
Yeah, they have like a symbol, but it's like.
So you can be even.
But that
so
doesn't
if
mean that
I'm-
you are.
If I'm
Q.
QAnon, I still don't know who QAnon is.
Yeah,
Yes.
but you can still queuing off without being a queuing on.
No, I don't.
Right?
I don't want anybody queuing off here. Okay. If this was a golf game, I'd say everybody queue on.
Just
Oh,
keep
that's
going.
tee on. Tee off.
This is like post.
Don't queue off. If you're out there queuing, if you're out there queuing right now, just keep on it. Don't question it right now. We're gonna figure
You'll get
out
there.
what it is.
We're gonna come to the bottom of QAnon.
But don't queue off. Don't at this time. We have to all keep on. Keeping on.
Stay in the queue.
QAnon.
Ow!
I'm for it. I don't know what it is, but it sounds like
fascinating.
it's good. It
It's-
sounds
it's-
like there's a secret Jesus that's leading the
The
way
flat
of
earth?
America.
Wait, does the flat Earth thing fall into that?
No, but I love those people too. God
Aren't
bless.
they like kind of
It's kind of like that kind. I compare them, but I feel like flat earthers might be offended,
Ooh.
or vice
By
versa.
QAnon?
Yeah, well, by being compared to QAnon, like sometimes different conspiracies. People who are really into certain conspiracies, just because you're into one doesn't mean you're into all of them, right? So it's like, oh, I love Bigfoot, but fuck the flat earthers, man. I don't believe any of that bullshit. But you still go Bigfoot hunting, which I actually think is a great thing. I think it's great to have all these conspiracies.
Yeah.
Like it's fun, but it also has led to some problems. So.
Well, speaking of conspiracies, I know that I made you watch a program the other day, or two anti-social conditions.
Oh,
2 weeks,
yes,
4th of July.
I did watch that program. I did.
And, I would argue that I know this is a show that's not even a show, that's about possibly being a show and not necessarily being a show. And that is the new face of anti-social conditioning. If you found this, if you're watching this, turn it off. You can. Or not, but we don't care. We don't care about you. We don't care about our friends. We don't care about our
We care.
anti-social. Yeah, maybe we
That's
do.
the only thing I care about.
Maybe we
Hey,
do.
by the way,
Maybe
dudes,
we do. Maybe we don't. Okay.
I got Eric Spooner on the
Oh,
line.
thank
so-
God.
Fantastic.
Yeah, but finish what you're saying, please.
Speaking of someone who I love very much, but I will pretend to not care about at any point for the sake of entertainment, and perhaps I have an antisocial whim, but it's all about interpersonal relations here, and that's a hot topic that we have to get into. with
Oh
you
yes.
two. I'm loving the sound of this.
Yeah. What is
Phone
going
call.
on with this call?
Is this the spoon himself?
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello?
Spooner!
Holy shit.
Sorry, I got excited.
Hey.
For the record, I'm not in any way affiliated with QAnon. I'm generally not at all on the internet for the most part. So I'm not.
Then how come
really
people
kind of-
told me you knew
Why?
things about it?
I have no
we
clue.
said
He knows
conspiracy.
about everything.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, I know conspiracies and stuff. I used to be a lot more, around the time of 2012, there was a big, 2012 to 2015, there were some big earth change conspiracies and the Mayan things and 9/11 and all that stuff. But I mean, now,
So what are your...
there's a lot of...
I'm sorry. I'm actually have so many questions for you now. If you're into conspiracies too, just keep going though.
No, I mean, but now I'm trying to just kind of get set up and get some work done so I can get paid and hopefully continue to have a place to live. So my focus is more on practical survival type matters at this point. But I've always enjoyed aliens and space and the esoteric and secrets of ancient history and all of those types of things. So
what was your favorite of the esoteric paths that your research took you down? What is one of your favorite sort of topics? Whether it be cryptozoology or ufology, or like what is one of your favorite?
Ufology.
Well,
I've been very into this stuff too.
I think cryptids are sort of fun for like a lot of people who I think are afraid of conspiracy, but they're comfortable to kind of dabble with a little Loch Ness monster or Bigfoot.
Yeah.
I really kind of lately I've been more into the sort of prehistoric history stuff. Like you've got these relics from Göbekli Tepe, and even older, where you've got 12,000, 15,000, 30,000-year-old artifacts from civilizations, which currently history doesn't acknowledge. That history.
Awesome.
I love that stuff,
So it's like,
dude.
what if history got itself to some point like we are now, and then everybody just destroyed themselves like we're on the way to do, and now we're going to do it all over again because we won't acknowledge it happened in the past.
What if, dude?
Sounds like Herb's dream.
No, not really. But like, yeah, dude. What if like every time like the internet happens, it just resets everything, and we like got to start from the beginning again.
Or like
Black hole of history theory.
The
That's
singularity.
Is that what it's called?
Well,
Yeah.
there's a theory that it's like if all the internet and all these computers and all we're storing everything on this digital media internet thing, and if that's destroyed and you're just left with like paper history, there'll be a big black hole in our history from where everything was in the digital realm.
Yeah,
The digital realm is
Oh,
destroyed.
that.
And all that would be left would be statues and things, which some of those last, some of those don't.
Yeah, and then like a couple thousand
And
years
most of
go
them
by,
suck.
and then we won't believe the fact that we had that technology back in the day, and like it just keep. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that stuff,
Crazy.
dude.
We're the most advanced we've ever been. Nobody's been better than we are now. We're the best. We're the best at everything. So
Yeah, but there's like
I mean,
a lot of
hard to argue with.
It's really cool though, dude, because like wasn't like light bulbs invented like a really long time ago, and they got like ancient ones and stuff like that, dude.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say just recently.
Are we gonna go?
I mean, in Dendara, Egypt, there is a hieroglyph that looks like what people consider to be a light bulb, but there's no proof of that. There is no soot in the chambers of the pyramids, where you would expect to find a lot more soot from people using torches to get down the passageways and tunnels, which some people say there may have been light bulbs, but I have no clue about any of that. I just know what other people say.
So you're not like an Ancient Aliens guy.
I think a lot.
I'm pretty sure there was.
I think that show's kind of a controlled opposition show. Like they did a whole show about the third eye, and if anybody knows anything about like spirituality or metaphysics or woo-woo, the third eye is the pineal. But the show made a whole point of the third eye being the hypothalamus. So you can tell
that's
it's
weird.
like it'll give you
It's next to
mostly
it. It's
good
next to
information,
it.
but then they steer you off at the last second. So I think that show's got some good stuff, but I think a lot of it's sort of twisted, and I think a lot of the ancient alien stuff might actually make sense. If there was a species living on this planet, 50, 60,000 years ago, and there's asteroids and earthquakes and tidal waves and all this stuff that happens on the surface, there's a lot of stories that say a lot of people have gone underground. So you could have had some sort of underground civilization that exists down there now. So there's
So
I don't know. I think that there's some,
do you think
What's
Ancient Aliens does that, like veering off at the like right before they get to it, like on purpose?
yeah. I think 90% of the time that's what they do. So I think a lot of the Ancient Alien stuff they might be talking about, I think a lot of that might actually be underground ancient humanoid or whatever was living on the planet kind of before this civilization we currently have. I
What
think
about-
aliens are an easy sort of like, hey, look up there, while meanwhile everything's going on down here and volcanoes and underground, and meanwhile everybody's looking up at the sky while the wolves being pulled over their eyes.
What about the new age aliens? Like this is like just an ad that comes on my YouTube that I haven't even watched. Like I don't even know what it is, but it's like I guess some kind of series about new age existing contemporary aliens, and like
Is
this one.
that Gaia TV?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
yeah,
boy. Better
and
align
they
your chakras.
and they
Yeah.
asked this woman like, "What about like? Do you think that you could be an alien or something?" And she's like, "That's an excellent question. I've taken on many forms in many dimensions." And then like
Everybody.
also like Billy Corgan's like interview with who is it with? Is it on Joe Rogan where he's talking about his experiences of having seen shapeshifters and stuff like that?
So I do think that there are extraterrestrials. I think a lot of what is attributed to extraterrestrials, I think it's an easy cop out, the same way that a lot of people try to pan a lot of things off to like, oh, it's all the Freemasons, or it's all this person, it's all that person. I think there are easy sort of scapegoats. So I think the alien becomes sort of an easy thing, like, oh, it's the aliens that did this. But I think that there's a lot of other things. But I do think there are aliens and other weird, maybe extra dimensional type things out there. And I think when Billy Corgan, I think it was on Rogan or Stern, talked about somebody, it sounded like it was a music industry person he was in a meeting with. And then he said, yeah, I think they shape-shifted into like a reptilian or something, which...
Oh, are you talking about Alex Jones?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he mentioned reptilians. He's like, I'll put it in my book later, but I don't want to be the guy talking about reptile people here because I know how much of a turnoff that is. But he's like, but trust me, I've seen it. So I'm like, Billy Corgan, like dating Courtney Love and seeing reptiles. Like this is a passive bad decision.
He sounds so serious about it. It's like things like that like make me think like Tom DeLonge's got like
that was
whole
science.
thing, but he's like clearly like very into it. Like he wants.
Well, he's a useful. Tom DeLonge, unfortunately, is kind of a useful idiot, and I like he's trying to do things. I think he legitimately wants to help bring the alien message to the people, and he's got the whole To the Stars Academy, and he makes movies, and he's putting a lot of his money forward. But then again, he's also connected with a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's also connected with the intelligence apparatus, and he's connected with a lot of people in the CIA, and he's connected with just a lot of shady people who are basically using him as a way to put information out there in a slow, controlled, trickly kind of way.
He's a disclosure conduit.
Yeah, a soft disclosure conduit.
Yeah,
rather.
soft disclosure.
It seems at this point there is technology that is being suppressed from mainstream awareness of infinite energy, healthcare type of stuff, useful things for all of mankind, but it's not really helpful to the people who control things, especially when you look at COVID. You've got cures out there basically that are like cheaper than $1, but they're trying to get remdesivir out there because it costs $1,800 per dose. Like it's all about money. So
Wait, are you saying there's a cure for COVID out there that costs less than $1?
I know it's like you can't, like there's legal things if you go out and say that but I will say that you can go out, it's worthwhile doing research on a product. It was a wonder drug back in, what's that?
It's not that bleach stuff, is it?
No, I watched
What
that
stuff?
whole thing on the bleach stuff. There's like this guy in
Is it-
Mexico
is
that's
it vitamin C? Is
hiding from America, was selling people like this product, this miracle product that has bleach, that's bleach in it. Yeah, it's
Miracle,
like
MMR,
Yeah,
MMG.
yeah.
Well, bleach is a great way of killing any kind of organism,
including
including
anything.
people that it
Yeah.
has killed.
But in a small, I mean,
So
yeah,
I
but
wouldn't-
bleach is
I wouldn't
found
buy
in water.
that online.
Bleach and chlorine is commonly
Yeah.
used in public drinking water supplies.
Don't get a root canal.
Bleach is surface contact type of stuff, and they do use chlorine and water. But No, there's and this is just like anybody can go out and research it. There's a medication that people use for scabies. It's used for headlights, actually. It's made from a Japanese bacteria. It was a wonder drug back in the 80s. It's super cheap. It's called ivermectin. They use it for deworming horses and things. It's incredibly cheap, and that's why they're not talking about it in the mainstream media anywhere. And I know everybody's got theories and whatever, but I encourage anybody who values health to, I'm not saying it's a cure because that's, I think, maybe illegal or something, but I'm saying researching ivermectin.
Parasites, not viruses.
I know, but there's a lot of science sort of behind it, and you're absolutely right. A virus is not a parasite, but it does have cross-applicational uses to it. And I encourage just research it, write it down, and research it.
Okay.
Like anybody listening, like
I've never heard that one before. I've heard a bunch of weird drugs like they say cures COVID, but I haven't heard that before. I haven't heard.
And they don't want you to, so it's worth just look it up, like make your own decisions on it. The Gates Foundation did a trial on it where they did 3 times the dosage that you're supposed to do, which ended up killing things. So you end up doing a study where you overdose something and then it makes it look bad. But that's what they've been using in Broward County, Florida, which is the one county in Florida that's not having deaths. They've used it in 5 other countries around the world. They're using it quite a lot in South America because they don't have a lot of money to do all the intubation and all of the stuff that we have up here. So they've been using it around the world. Our media is absolutely silent about it. And it's just worth looking up. I'm not saying it's, I'm not saying anything. I'm one of the biggest sort of naysayers, like do your own research type of thing. But that might help you or somebody else. I think people we know have had it. So it's worth reading about. That's all I'm saying.
Would it help you with anything or just with COVID?
It's supposed to actually possibly have applications for cancer. It might possibly have applications for herpes.
Yeah.
Kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
I need this.
It gets inside the nervous system because one of the things about COVID they're not talking about is there's the phase 1 where you have the sort of respiratory system stuff, and then there's phase 2 where you end up getting the aneurysms, the blood clots, and all of that stuff. So you don't necessarily get cured from it the first time, and you don't get immunity from it. So you need to try to cure yourself with something, and this is supposed to be something that gets in there because it gets into your nervous system. So these are.
Have you tried it?
I have tried it. Yeah.
What did it do? Did you feel anything?
I was having headaches before taking it, and I'm having less headaches now. And I don't know if that was COVID or maybe some other parasite I've collected over being alive on this planet over 30 years. So it could be any of those things. But
so it's safe enough.
I'm still here to talk on the phone about it.
You could get it over the counter.
You can't get it for humans over the counter because they only prescribe it for headlights. And so there's a lot of people who have scabies, which is a skin condition. And you can take it for scabies by mouth. And if you go online, there are people who, because the doctors won't prescribe, I forget I think it's Stromectol is the pharmaceutical name for it. The doctors won't prescribe that for scabies. So what they end up doing is they go and get basically it's the same exact medication, but it's made in a apple flavored paste so you can feed your horse for it. So if you go online, you can find out how the people with scabies dose with horse paste. But
I have a lot of things that work
all
for
about
horses.
Products that animals and horses can use, like that shampoo.
Yeah, mane and tail. Ketamine.
Well, the preppers all like to buy if you need antibiotics, you can use fish antibiotics.
Yes, Travis Long. Shout out to my bandmate Travis Long, who takes fish antibiotics on the regular to heal those rotting teeth.
I've never taken fish pills yet, but I have taken horse paste, and I'm still alive.
Well, you know what? It reminds me in a way of Botox, because I'm like, I need Botox, whatever. I'm going to get it. I think it's great. And it's really botulism.
It really is
and then
botulism.
Reaper Rob's like looking at me, he's like, Botox is the most kills, like this made the like whatever and it's like, okay, yeah, in the form of botulism, yeah, but in the form of just being injected into my face and the face of the world, it just causes, effortless beauty forever.
Or nerve damage.
And it's a miracle. Well, I don't know. I haven't fully gone there yet, but I think it's, I think it's a beautiful, wonderful thing that's completely safe for all humans. I don't know.
This show is sponsored by botulism.
Yeah, actually, we should try and get.
We should try to get a
free
Botox. Yeah,
Like,
we
if
should do like beauty.
Botox
Yeah.
on the program and get a sponsor. That would be great.
Yeah.
But Spooner, I also want to point out / ask you about. I've heard that you're getting to like a Howard Hughes like level of COVID paranoia.
It was an interesting sort of thing there. We lived on the 3rd floor of this building, and the people downstairs, we'd been dealing with like their cigarette smoke coming through our floor all the time.
Oh.
And they were constantly having a bunch of people coming over, partying every night, smoking a bunch of weed. So there were a bunch of strangers coming over, and it's
Was
like
this
if we
Crystal?
could smell the smoke. What's that?
Is this Crystal's apartment?
No names.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna come right over there. You know, I need my family, and I'm like,
yeah, well,
Spooner would have put a bag over me and kicked me right out of there.
No, so it was becoming difficult, and then Katie wasn't able to go for walks because it's like every time we would go downstairs, it became like we were walking by 8 other people, including little coughing kids and stuff. So it's like every time going downstairs became like having to take a shower and go through like horse shit. And it was just like, it was pretty untenable. And I mean, fortunately we were able to kind of get out of there and not get the disease or give it to other people on our way sort of out. And now Katie's out. She just took a little walk outside. So, I mean, there's plenty of walk. It was definitely a rough kind of dark patch. But I left my job. We left the state, looking to kind of get sort of a new sustainable kind of life. Really was difficult to kind of, getting ahead in Massachusetts. The average wage, Katie knows the statistics better than I do, but it's like the average wages are $60,000 a year, and the average rent is $2,000 a month.
Wait, the average wage is that much?
Yeah, I mean, in the job I worked at, most everybody I worked with had roommates. Like nobody's able to kind of afford their own apartments, and it's just like it's very difficult to kind of, especially trying to save up or do any of that. So we found a place a little bit less expensive, and I'm trying to make a little bit of money doing some kind of some Oregon stuff, and hopefully learn how to do some sort of house building type of stuff, because I'd love to build some sort of a tiny house or something that we could kind of live comfortably in kind of out here. So I haven't been online a lot lately, so I'm not totally up on all the conspiracies. I did see the Wayfair thing, but I think a lot of times these things pop up. There is certainly a worldwide sort of child abuse, human trafficking kind of network out there. I think these little stories that pop out, I think that they're kind of like distractions away from the real things, which are probably like the Epstein type of stuff, the more institutional things you get. I mean, it is weird that for some reason Wayfair's got a $14,000 couch with the name of a missing kid on it. But I mean, that's just a distraction to get people all fired up, and it's like flat earth type of stuff maybe they're right about the Fed not being actually part of the government, and maybe they're right about the Gulf of Tonkin was an inside job or whatever, but then they start talking about flat earth, and it's like you lose all credibility about some of the other things that may have been correct. And I think some people who have a lot of time to do research get into these topics with good intentions, but then they end up destroying all their own credibility. So it's kind of sad.
Well, it's like that seems so obvious to be selling a $10,000 chest on Wayfair.com or whatever, which like apparently sends everyone, if you ever buy anything from them, they send you like 1 million emails all the time with the name of a missing child.
It's the first
on
name.
it, and then you get if you purchase that chest, you get the missing child. I mean,
wouldn't somebody buy it?
Like, what would be the point of doing something in that kind of way, other than creating a conspiracy theory? Because what if I'm like, you know what? I love this chest so much. Like, I know it's $20,000, but it's like I can't put my clothes anywhere else. And you know what? I'm rich. I've been getting unemployment. I got this Trump money. Okay, I get $20,000 now, and I want this bureau. and okay, it's called Samaria. Okay, whatever. And then you're telling me a child shows up on my doorstep in a box, and I go, "Where's my bureau?"
No, I mean, like the way you would think of it is like, no, dude, the way you think of it is like, the best way to hide something is in plain sight, and they wouldn't sell to like buyers that don't already are involved in the slave trade.
Know,
dude.
you
So
guys.
then, wouldn't you already know? Wouldn't you be kind of like privately dealing? This is like online shopping for children.
There's a million of
through
these
Wayfair.
dressers.
No, I mean there's like dark web networks and things, and if you want to kind of like sniff around the edges of what this thing is, and you really want to kind of be able to look over the fence at it, look at what Charlie Sheen's ex-wives have said about what they caught him doing on the computer, and
There's
why
all
they
kinds
don't
of
want
shady
him.
shit on the computer. Yeah.
Wait, what was he
What's that?
doing?
Yeah.
What was he doing?
He was on these sort of networks where he was paying a lot of money for photographs and things to be done to children explicitly on the internet.
Yeah.
And his wife, who they have children together, was like, I do not want him to have custody with our children, because this is what he's doing. And both wives caught him in the same sort of thing. And it's not some just porn network. This is where people go and they're able to do all of this, trading with impunity. And there is a network like that, but I don't think that it's Wayfair. I think that would be way too sloppy for these people.
I mean,
I'm sure,
Wayfair's headquarters is in Boston. You realize, and I know a lot of people who I like. Wayfair's headquarters is in Boston.
Yeah,
and I know a lot of
exactly.
people who work there. Like, and I mean, they just have really overpriced furniture, and it has names.
No, I think it's more likely that when you left Epstein's Island, you were given a password to a website, that Charlie Sheen was visiting at that point.
That
Because if
makes
you get
more
caught,
sense,
they've got shit on you. So,
Yeah,
But I doubt it's going to be Wayfair or some pizza joint in New York or whatever. I mean, these people might be associated with it, but I don't think that they're running stuff through their business because it's way too obvious and way too easy to catch people.
Well, what do you think about? So I saw Cat Power posted on her Instagram, and I started looking at it, at 5 a.m. when I should have been sleeping. And instead, I just waste my life on the internet. But I was looking at this Instagram that's like celebs with Ghislaine. Is that her name? How do you say it? Galan Maxwell or whatever. And it's just like different photo. It's like photos of Jalan with like
it's everybody who's famous.
Well, exactly. I'm like, so do you like? It's like, what does this mean? It's like, do you think that every person that's in a photo with Jalan is like a criminal that's in a pedophilia ring?
I think they're all not necessarily above question, and I don't think it's all of them, but I think that certainly this is a person who's been. Now, I think it's been obviously shown in so many ways, and the fact that they're only trying to prosecute up to a certain point and everything is absurd. But I think it's like, these are all of the who's people. Of whenever something happens, it's like, here's Tom Hanks, here's Eminem, here's this person. It's like these people do what they have to do to get that level of authority and that level of sort of control. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say Tom Hanks is a pedophile. Other people have been more than willing to do that. But I think
he's
certainly,
just a Scientologist.
I don't think he's supposed to.
I don't think he's a Scientologist.
I think Tom Hanks.
I was thinking Tom Cruise.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I'm like, I know a lot about Scientology.
Yeah, Tom Hanks is like Mr. Rogers.
Like I've seen him make jokes about crack on 5 different talk shows. I don't think about crack or make jokes about crack, but Tom Hanks is making a lot of crack jokes.
Well,
just an observation.
You know what? Where I would think that comes from, even though I study a lot of different people for different reasons. I haven't gone into a super study of Tom Hanks, but I do know that his son, one of his sons at least, has had like serious drug issues and just behavioral issues for his whole life. So I think that psychologically that might be where that comes from with Tom Hanks, is because he may have had to deal with crack use with his son.
Well, his son was, I think, on and dealing meth. Like his son was very familiar with it. So I don't know if that's because it was around because of Tom, or if it was just. It's difficult to say what.
I don't feel like Tom's doing crack. I feel like he's maybe had to deal with crack use by being the most famous man in the world and having a son that has like uber privilege that you can't even take away at that point.
If you want to dabble in Tom Hanks' conspiracy, though, go on his Instagram. But the number one thing he likes to post are like children's, like one child's gloves in the middle of the forest.
Okay,
or one
he will post
and he
any
writes,
glove.
"Hank."
It's not
What's that?
always okay.
It's a
I've been
glove
a big follower of Tom Hanks's Twitter and Instagram for quite a while.
He's been talking about gloves long before he ever entered the crack game.
Yeah, and I mean, yes,
Bosom to bosom, he had a hyperfixation on gloves.
The only reason I could see, like, I don't know why I'm going about
He
Tom
likes
Hanks.
a lady.
It's Tom Hanks is posting lone gloves, right? That's the theme. The thing is, who loses one glove the most?
It'd
Children.
be funny if people started losing hands and they're like, this person came out of nowhere. I don't know. It kind of looks like the guy from Big. I don't know. It was sort of like I was on an island and I was like, am I cast away? And all of a sudden, my hand was missing. And I looked and there was some man holding a volleyball running into the ocean. And, that could be the real conspiracy of our time.
You know what he signs his tweets as? Is Hanksy.
See, is everything suspicious? Like, if Herb ends up to be a serial killer, it's like, I'm in tons of pictures with Herb, Like, I've never seen him kill, it's like, I feel like on a certain level, it's different when you're, like, standing next to, like, Carol Radswell, who's, like, my favorite housewife, is in, like, half of these pictures with Ghislaine, whatever,
Maxwell.
on celebs with Ghislaine, and like she was married to a prince and he died after 5 years, and she's like I don't think that she's in a pedophilia, but it's like you put this thing up and then it's like, okay, now you're in question, you're like a criminal because you're in a picture with this woman who was like running a pedophilia ring that you probably I could be taking.
Because about an hour ago, you all thought I was a member of QAnon, so I'm sure there's photos of you guys all out there hanging out with me. And if there's rumors going out that I'm QAnon, that might not help you. But
wait, is that bad?
Either.
See, I still think that QAnon is a good thing. Maybe just because it's QAnon and it sounds fun, it sounds right. But it's a bad thing.
Yeah. I mean, I think the moral of the story is don't take pictures with rich people.
Don't take pictures at all.
Well, it's like if you took a picture with Hitler, during his, it's like
selfie.
It's like, but like if you're a child in the same class as Hitler, I don't know. It's like, I don't know what to do with these celebs with Ghislaine. I look at them, I look into their eyes, I say, were you at a party? Do you have a 10-year-old in a bureau in a wicker basket in your closet? I don't. Who is QAnon? I don't know what's going on.
That gets into the whole Isaac. Remember Isaac Cappy? Isaac Cappy was on that show that you watched, and Isaac Cappy ended up mysteriously jumping off a bridge after talking about QAnon and Hanks and all that stuff. He's just like, I don't.
Yeah, because he was crazy.
Yeah,
Wait,
exactly. So
like he was. Like, it wasn't like this was Eric Olson, who was like an esteemed person who worked for the FBI and had dosed with acid and pushed off a building by the CIA or whatever. This is like a guy who was like a known unhinged person. Sometimes they jump off buildings.
They're talking about he was talking about, I think, he was claimed to be friends at one point with Seth Green, and he started talking about dropping dimes on Seth Green and Tom Hanks, and then he went kind of nuts. Or maybe went nuts before he started spreading the rumors, and then had the unfortunate incident with the overpass. But yeah, I mean, it's tough to make sense of all the pedophile rumors. Like, it's unfortunate for the people who just happen to be kind of around people, and then the next, or like, you get photobombed by that Maxwell person, and the next thing you know, you're losing contracts and things for It's tough to know.
Not the next thing.
I think it's a lot.
It's like 8 years later or something.
Yeah, I mean, I can see. I also
wait. What does dropping a dime on Tom Hanks and Seth Green mean? What does that mean? Dropping a dime?
Oh my god!
I know. That's like 1950. That's
I'm like new to this
1950s
world.
talk for like dropping the dime is like dropping a dime into the phone booth and making a call to the police to let them know what's going on. Alert the authorities. Dropping the dime. Like it's in a Sublime song, I think.
It's a common turn of phrase for snitching.
Yeah,
Dropping a
It's
dime
snitching.
and I strap shoes on my dime. Wait, but he's on what show? That don't forget your point, because I know you want to say something, but I wanted to ask.
Actually,
what show is he on?
No point.
No, you
Isaac
do.
Cappy was on Vanderpump Rules. He did that music video with that other
Oh,
guy. You
that's
that
who you're
guy.
talking about. The guy with the
Yeah,
afro?
The guy with the afro, yeah.
Whoa. Rod Webber just said that Luther Campbell's account on the orgy at Trump's is especially compelling. You guys know about this or what?
I'm sure Rod Webber does.
Luther Campbell?
Yeah, Luther Campbell.
From
It was like Epstein related, basically all like sexual.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
sorry.
I'm not sure.
Wait, so Isaac Cappy, so that guy killed himself?
Who?
He jumped off of a bridge in the middle of the desert somewhere and got hit by a truck, yeah.
Oh wow.
After talking about how Seth Green was making jokes about having a sex dungeon for children and stuff, and talking about how Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks were these shady people, he was on some bridge and he jumped off and killed himself.
Oh my God.
So, I mean, you could make the argument, certainly, as Lauren pointed out, that this guy was a disturbed gentleman who was making all these claims, and then a disturbed gentleman jumps off a bridge. Or, people die in jail cells with the video cameras turned off and nobody being able to see them.
I think even insane people that get something out of being social terrorists or like making claims or whatever, like even within that, there is like a grain of truth to what they're saying, and they kind of go off. And it's like the hard part is like there's generally like a lot more truth to what that person is doing and doing to other people than like the grains of truth that are within their like diatribes about other people in situations. So it's kind of hard to weed that out.
Well, I think a lot of this too, it sort of shows us, or it's attempting to show us that the entire world that we know is wrong and backwards, and that all of these politicians that we loved and respected and that changed our worlds and our minds, and all of these actors who made us laugh and made us cry might all be really dark, bad people who are, who are fallible like all of the rest of us, and maybe susceptible to money or power or whatever else has happened in these situations. But it's difficult for any of us, I think, to actually sit and look like, is that politician, is that actor, is that person the person I thought they were? And it's a tough pill to swallow for a lot of that stuff. I mean, Epstein was hanging out with everybody on the left, on the right, actors.
Yeah, he did hang out with everybody. And so did Gillan.
What's that?
Gillan hung out with everybody too, even more so.
But does
and then
that...
he had this gigantic Manhattan real estate that was just given to him. And I mean, that's a whole shady thing too. Like, you look into where he got the money for all of that stuff, all of his sort of connections where he was making money. Like, yeah. A very well-connected young man, and a very mysterious death. And if she's not careful, she might find herself committing suicide in an unvideotaped jail cell. Just saying.
Awful.
Does that mean
but if it
that
happened,
when
would any of us? None of us would be surprised, but nothing would happen. It would just be like, oh well, it just happened. Just like that other guy.
Yeah, it's just
and that other guy, and the video cameras were off, and it just happened.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
hate it when
didn't
people
they
get
reopen
killed.
investigations or something on that, and then nothing has come of it
I
yet?
think they said they opened up one of them, maybe, but I think so many people are probably implicated in it. It's tough to it's like any of these things going on now. How do you bring accountability to the powerful? How do you hold those people? These are the people who punish all of the other people. How do you punish the punishers? It's difficult to we're seeing it in a lot of facets of our society right now.
Yeah,
so it's
how do you call the cops on the cops?
Right.
Yeah.
Who watches the
Exactly.
watchers?
Yeah. So it's the Wayfair thing. It's an interesting, weird kind of story to kind of pop up, but I didn't. I don't know the QAnon so good, so I'm sorry I can't quite.
It's part of
contribute.
QAnon.
It's weird because the Wayfair thing has like totally taken off, and I didn't even get it. Like, I didn't get it at first. I was just seeing it like on Instagram with like Savannah Chrisley, one of my faves from Chrisley Knows Best. Who, you know, is like a young, like, religious. I'm pretty sure she's saving herself for marriage, you know, and her like Instagram story is just like Wayfair. There's a throw pillow does not cost $5,000. This does not cost, you know, which is like, I didn't even understand what the conspiracy theory was at that point. So it's like, what? It's like this fucking rich bitch is going off on this company for charging an arm and a leg for some bullshit. It's like, well, like, you aren't wearing Gucci right now. It's like, you could say that about fucking anybody, you know? It's like fucking
I think
Zara.
some of the bookshelves actually had like bust sizes and things on them too, and it's like, how does a bookshelf have a bust size? It may have a length and a width, but how does a bookshelf have a bust size?
Oh, really?
That's weird.
Well, that's one of the things people
But
were
that's
pointing
probably a
out on
mistake.
Twitter and things, I think. So I don't. What's that?
I said that's weird. But
Yeah,
I mean,
this
I don't-
sounds
I-
like a
I haven't-
spelling issue, like, or something.
No, it doesn't sound like a spelling issue.
Nobody is ordering kids online on Wayfair. It's just not happening.
spelling with this girl.
But the
Yeah, I don't think
I
people
think
are
what's
ordering
more-
babies on Wayfair, but it's weird.
That's
it's
not where
just
babies
weird.
come from?
I thought that's what
It's
it
a
came from.
weird
Yeah.
collection
Dang.
of
I
mistakes.
cancel my order.
Yeah, but I
it's
think
tragic.
I thought the bassinet would come with a baby.
To, I think, more the mental
What do I have to do?
state of, because this is part of the QAnon conspiracy. These are the people who started this sort
That's
of
nothing weird.
that pushed this, noticing this, and this is one of these weird hidden clues they look for in society. This is part of that. So it's like,
Well,
I think-
tragic optics. It's like Corona
well-
beer has actually stopped manufacturing beer now because they're associated with the virus.
I am
you know?
single-handedly keeping Corona alive.
I thought they would boom. I started buying Corona immediately.
Yeah,
I'm
me
like,
too,
this
me
is the
too.
only
Amen.
beverage to have during this time.
Yeah.
But I did notice I went to Target in the early days and like all the beer was gone and good old Corona, which, you know, I prefer, was sitting there on the shelf.
It's so easy to drink.
Just like it's so easy to get Corona.
What's that?
Yes.
Put a lime on it. Put a lime on it. See if it'll cure you. It's not scurvy, okay? It's an anonymous, tasteless, smellless, symptomless, side effectless virus that's gonna kill you, all your family, everyone you care about, and if you go outside, you're the enemy. Don't go into my Costco, you maskless hoe.
I thought when you were going to say it's flavorless, tasteless, odorless, I thought you were talking about Corona for a
I
second.
know. I was gonna say that sounds.
I
like
am.
Great advertising.
Oh.
great.
Yeah,
ad
well,
for
that's
beer.
what I love about Corona.
Yeah, it's so easy to drink.
Calories.
Goes down.
But wait.
So what?
Oh, wait, but this is the other issue with Wayfair, which maybe Spooner, because he does always know. I love to talk to Spooner about all this stuff because he has so much information. I forgot about Isaac Cappy, who I'm going to research now. But the other big problem was that Wayfair didn't say anything about this growing conspiracy theory. Now, have they still not said anything? And they're still they just took down all the items, right? And they have not made any statement.
Well, I think all the items ended up selling, and I think it was sort of without any. Like, I
See,
don't
the
know.
pedos got right
no.
on there.
It must be
Well,
so
no, but I don't
disappointed
think I
when
don't
they get
think
a bookshelf.
I don't think it was children though. I think it was just items. I thought that's what I had read, and then what I did see a rumor. I mean, like, let's compare our rumors that we've seen. But there was a rumor that there was this one fella who delivered for them who got busted for some sort of child trafficking, but it wasn't necessarily related. But people were trying to kind of, correlation is not causation. So I mean, one has to be aware, but people
Doesn't, like,
were talking about
FedEx
that.
deliver
I'm not
Wayfair furniture? It's not like its own private. It's not like Amazon. They don't have their own private delivery service. So it's like that's just FedEx.
The Wayfair has no private delivery people?
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, maybe they have installation tech support, but I'm pretty sure you just order to your house. But it's not like, Amazon has its own trucks at this point. Or, like, at least its own, like, you can get stuff faster because people, like, it's almost like the Lyft for package delivery from Amazon. Wayfair is using UPS, USPS, and FedEx, as far as I'm aware. So what does the delivery driver being a creep have to do with Wayfair?
I don't know. Like, I don't buy $16,000
No,
desks, so I'm not sure if they're
neither.
coming with the same delivery that I'm getting, or if there's some special thing that those people
Special
get.
promo code.
It comes in a limousine and they drop it off. I don't know exactly the way that works.
Yeah.
But we're sharing our Wayfair rumors. So that I heard there was a fella who, but like I said, that's not necessarily any sort of causation. There's been nobody who's said, yeah, we've seen this, or there have just been a few weird listings on the internet page, which is really bad optics. But
what if the
bad
QAnon
optics is not a? What's that?
So I have a conspiracy theory about this conspiracy. What if QAnon, one of the people posting as QAnon, is the CEO of Overstock.com, who was with Marina Butina? Who's that Russian spy that we got caught with? That we caught here like a couple years ago?
I don't know.
Oh, you look like you knew what you were talking about. Dude, her look, I was like Marina Butina or something. She was like a Russian spy. The CEO of Overstock.com used to, or is with her, and they also deliver furniture, believe it or not. So that's like a big part of Overstock's business. So what if he wrote as QAnon, planning to attack his competitor by saying that they deliver children, like pedophiles, like this Overstock.com CEO might be QAnon? Is what I'm saying.
What if anybody shipping these big boxes and these freights might be suspect of doing human trafficking? Oh my God.
Yeah, I know, but back to like who is QAnon? I think I have a good fucking theory. I just
it's
came
like
up with.
Anybody who raises pigs is suspect of being a murderer, I suppose.
Well, I mean, if they're killing the pigs for food, you know.
No, I think
Marina
I think
Butina.
QAnon
Marina Butina.
I think QAnon is probably created by somebody within the intelligence community, not the person they say they are, but it's one of these things like where everybody thinks, oh, QAnon's here. You know, you guys didn't talk about it. JFK Jr. is rumored to be QAnon, so you didn't even talk about that one. That the JFK Jr. faked his death and did the QAnon.
Oh, what if it's Tupac?
My God,
what if
I love
it's Tupac, though? You know what I mean? Like,
What?
okay,
Oh
like,
my
what if it's
God.
Elvis?
Maria Butina.
If pictures
Yes,
of JFK start showing up, first
Thanks,
off, how
Rod.
old is JFK right now?
It's JFK Jr.
There are year-adjusted pictures of JFK where they're like, here's JFK standing behind Trump at a rally. Look at he's got a beard and he looks older, but that's JFK Jr. There are people who are totally, but like I was saying, I think QAnon is one of these things where people think that the cavalry is going to come in. So they're willing to just sit around and do nothing. And this is something that's used for the left and the right for a long time, where they're like, hey, Trump is the hero. He's going to do everything. Don't worry. Just sit back, keep watching TV, keep buying, and everything's going to be taken care of. So everybody just sits at home, and people aren't really kind of participating because they keep saying, like, there's this thing back. Any of you guys know about Nasara, or revaluation?
No, what's that?
Well, there's a thing around 2012 where they're saying that the dollar was going to be revalued because it's been off of the gold and silver standard for a long time, and that it's going to go back to being metal backed, and it's going to be this whole thing. And people started investing in Chinese currency or Vietnamese currency and in Iraqi dinar because it was supposed to be one dinar was worth like you could get 1,000 dinar for $1, but after the revaluation, one dinar would be worth $1 million. So all these people were like buying up all of this Iraqi currency when this happened. And they're like, oh, it's going to happen tomorrow. You're going to be a millionaire tomorrow. You're going to be a millionaire tomorrow. So these people sold millions of dollars of Iraqi currency saying it's going to change tomorrow. You're all going to be millionaires. And those people 10 years later now are still waiting.
Bitcoin.
They're all waiting for tomorrow. And that's what QAnon is. Everybody's like, it's going to happen tomorrow. Something's going to happen tomorrow. There's 160,000 indictments of all these criminals and pedophiles. And tomorrow they're all going to get arrested, but nobody gets arrested. More people get elected, and it just gets deeper and deeper. So that's QAnon. It makes people complacent into not doing anything, thinking that the hero is going to come and save them.
It's
so
a
it's
de-escalation
not.
technique.
Well, that's the flip side of Lori Galloway or whatever the fuck the woman. When's the world supposed to end? I think it's like July 20th or something.
Wasn't that supposed to happen?
And she like killed all her own children to get ahead of the game.
Well, this happens like every other. It's like Heaven's Gate was that too, right?
Yeah.
The Heaven's Gate cult. I mean, like this stuff. Like there's always an end of a world around the corner. You know what I mean? Like that's always.
Yeah, I think I'd rather. This is inspiring. I'm going to be, more productive, and I'm not going to waste my life on an air mattress watching Real Housewives, although I would say that I would much rather do that and just wait for the end of the world rather than, preemptively get ahead of it and, it
You should make
seems
some
like
music.
a
I like
effort.
your music.
I
Yeah,
know.
You should make some music.
I know. Have you been making music?
Yeah.
I've been really busy lately, kind of
Yeah.
doing the moving thing.
Yeah,
but I
that's
actually
huge.
I record
you're so far
before,
now.
like sort of between the nervous breakdown at the beginning of the quarantine thing and moving and everything. I think I recorded 2 or 3 songs, and then I remixed about a half dozen, and I've got another one that I want to record as soon as I get some money to pay my bills.
Nice.
That's we want to have you and Coriander on the show to do a live performance. Maybe a over a year past rain date on
I
most
think we're ready for that
antisocial.
at some point. We just need to make our way back down into the back down to the Massachusetts whenever things are.
Calms
I don't know.
Do you have rivers over there? Where you are, undisclosed location?
Yeah, Katie's over by a river.
Yeah, because you can go. The water's beautiful over there.
She's reading Tolstoy. She's like, I have to read my
good.
book, and I'm like, you read your book. I'm doing radio. I'll say hi to everybody for you.
I'll tell her we say hi. That's
She's-
nice that she's
She's
reading by
a
river.
saint. It's been difficult with all the stuff going on, and at the beginning I went through a whole thing where it was everybody I know could possibly get sick and die, and like my dad's in Florida and he just had a heart surgery and he's got a bad lung and he's in Florida, so he could get sick and die. So I had to go through this thing where I realized that everybody in this world that I know is going to die and they could get sick and die, and it was a rough few days, but then I decided that I'm going to show appreciation to people and let them know that I appreciate them and try to be more kind of communicative with people. And so Herb sent me a message, and I was like, I haven't texted anybody in a month, and I haven't been on Facebook in about 6. I'm going to try to make an effort to re-engage with the human race.
Yeah.
And here I am.
Yeah. No, it's so great. And it feels good. And because it's weird, because it's like I've done that too. Like I haven't even talked to my therapist, and it's like I haven't gone on the I just which is a weird thing. You'd think that when we're all kind of like super separated that we would and some people are good at it. I mean, Lauren's like zooming with people all the time and stuff.
No,
but
I'm on the streets. I don't Zoom.
I go into the void of
Zoom.
I'll never speak to anyone again. I don't even really know why.
I was there with you for a month. I think it's the house.
I don't know.
I was doing that
I know
when I was in the
big
house.
part of it is me, but I know I feel better rejoining my own life and rejoining society and forgiving myself for the time, because I think the time alone and outside of the societal norms or whatever is also okay and good for everyone too.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
The time out on the mountain gives us the time to learn the things we need to learn when we rejoin everybody else. So there's definitely a value to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's got to do it their own way to the best.
Because I just end up thinking everyone hates me and that I'm disappointing everybody and that and myself, and that I haven't done anything in my life, and that now that it may be impossible for me to ever do anything. You don't want to get lost in the woods of your existential mind.
Yeah, but that's what's totally happening for
right?
I was there too, man. I was there too for a good month. Like when this started, it was, it's hard. Like when everything that is like your routine, productive pattern, even if it's not a pattern, but just is ripped away from you. Like people were there. Everybody I think might have been there. We just weren't there together.
Yeah,
which was what made it suck.
And it's crazy because even the people you want to spend time with, there's just so much of like you can't go out and sort of do anything, and you come to realize that like we kind of Katie and I realized like the last time we went out to a diner, like we knew when we were at the diner, we're like, this might be the last time that we're like eating at a diner for who knows how long, and it's like We haven't been able to go to a diner. Like, we haven't been able to like go out and do stuff. And we used to kind of go and do stuff, and it's like, you know, every day becomes like the same day kind of over and over again. And it becomes this like, you know, you try to keep it. You got to try to keep view of other people, but it's so difficult to almost keep view of yourself. And when it's like you're losing track of what you are because it's the same day over and over again, it's hard for other people to be like, you know, hey, are you okay over there? And it's like, yeah, I'm just trying to make sure everything's clean so we don't die from this virus. Just let me clean everything. We'll be okay if it's clean. So
yes, that's every day of my life. And it's not clean.
At least it's a little bit less neurotic now, with me, at least on that front. But I mean, it's all. I mean, we're still all kind of trapped in our own little kind of area, and it is. I feel like a lot of us are kind of suffering. I think together, but in our own sort of ways, because this is all very, very unnatural. And like you guys were saying earlier, you know, used to go out and play basketball and soccer and do all these things, but it's like you can't really go outside and do as much, which our bodies have all this energy, and now we're like inside getting pale, getting like all this energy, just like I'm tapping my foot on the floor. I'm like, what's going on here? Let's do something. So I think it's a really weird situation for us to all have to endure. It's very unnatural.
It is.
You haven't gone to an outdoor. When I was driving on the highway and I saw people sitting outside on the outdoor patios the first time at like Applebee's, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, oh my god, we could go to Applebee's. And like nobody wanted to go anywhere right away. I'm like, I could be served something at an Applebee's outside like right now. Like
it's really weird too, because like up here there's you know there's Hannaford. Most of the people at Hannaford wore masks. Price Chopper, not many of the people in the Price Chopper wore masks. There's food trucks. People aren't really wearing masks at the food trucks. Not a lot of people wearing them at the gas stations. Like it's sort of like people don't really think of it as being real or a threat up here. So they look at us funny when we wear ours, because it's like,
sucks.
Why are you wearing a mask? Are you sick or something? And it's like, no, we just want to make sure, you know, there's I know you guys live up here, but there is this virus thing out there. We just want to try to make sure everybody stays cool, because I don't want to be responsible for anybody getting sick or dying, you know.
Yeah, it's all over the place. Like Rhode Island, I went to Rhode Island. I walked in, like people, because it's like here, if you walk into any place without a mask, it's like the feeling is like if you're not thinking of it, you should walk in expecting to get shot and hoping to like, you know, it's like people will be screaming at you on the street. I went to Rhode Island for one day. I walk into the gas station with my mask, you know, heavily applied, 3 pairs of gloves on. Nobody in the cash register wiping her nose on her sleeve, you know, every person that comes in, and then when you're the only masked person in a maskless state or society, because I know I'm just like subject to the social norms. Like I don't really care. I don't know where germs come from. I don't know. It's like if I decide that Corona is all around me, and that like when I was in Northampton filming something, I decided that Northampton was full of Corona and I was going to get it there and bring it back to Boston. And so then it was like I couldn't be uninfected because I was infected everywhere I went. Every breath I took was a breath of Corona. But now I'm like, hey, I don't know. I'm like still don't feel sick, and I never have felt sick really. And so then when I'm in the gas station in Rhode Island, you become the crazy person that's wearing the mask at the gas station, you know? I started taking it off. Yeah. I might be what's wrong with America, but I just want to fit in. You know, I want to be a freak on my own terms, you know, not like the idiot
that's wearing a mask. Like at the beginning of things, where I had a flight in January, and I was the only one on the plane to Colorado with a mask, and everybody's looking at me crazy, and I was just like, I don't know what's going on. I'm leaving Chicago, or I'm leaving Boston to go to a smaller city in Colorado. Like I just don't. I would feel so bad if anybody got sick because of something I did or didn't do.
Yeah,
so it's
that's
like,
the worst.
It sucks wearing a mask, but like I can do that. Like if that's the sacrifice and the suffering I have to make for my generation, you know, I can put a piece of mask on. Like, but people are eating at restaurants up here, and it's just like it's
inside.
It's weird. Inside and outside, yeah.
Yeah, people are doing it here too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm doing it. I'm eating outside at restaurants.
I have not been to a restaurant in so long.
I haven't yet, but I kind of want to stop by PA's because they started serving food now.
Oh,
dude,
we got to
and
PA's.
we can
Wow.
get a drink there,
Yeah.
dude. So
You can only imagine what that tastes
It's
like.
gonna be awesome.
Oh God.
I don't like to eat it, but I've had the biggest craving for KFC for like the past 2 months because I can't eat it.
Wait, you can't
I
eat it?
I mean, it's like we haven't been going. We haven't eaten out since I think sometime in March. We've just been like making all of our own food, and
you guys are
like,
crazy.
Yeah.
By the way, like
All I eat is takeout.
and I feel somehow you're more paranoid than coriander. Although coriander would be.
Well, the ironic thing is, she got me. She's the one who gave me all of
totally
the information
that
got me paranoid.
Yeah, I can see
and
this.
then at a certain point, she just kind of got lazy with, and she's
like, I'm over it.
That's
like
people,
me.
Like all these people are outside, and none of them are wearing masks. I don't want to wear a mask, and it's like, but you're the one who told me we're all going to die, so it's like we need to do this so we survive. And she's like, this sucks. I don't want to do this anymore. And I'm like, well, I don't want to force you to because then I'm an asshole. Like, don't make me be the asshole. So it's like
now you're her oppressor. Now you're oppressing her.
Well, exactly, and it's like, so then in our sort of calm moment, she says, I really appreciate, because she's like, she'll say, sometimes I can be a brat and I don't want to do it, but you just want to keep us healthy, and I appreciate that. So, like, but I hate doing it. I've said to her so many times, like, there's so many little things I do just to try to make sure that we don't get sick, that I'm like, what if I've never even been within 10 feet of coronavirus? And I've done, we've got UVC lights, we've got ozone generators, we've got, the bleach mixture, we've got paper towels, we've got everything you could possibly need to disinfect and wipe and do any of that type of stuff. That it's like, I've probably never even gotten close to it, but I've just been like, I've been trying to keep Katie safe. There's part of me that's like, maybe I get sick, maybe I die, maybe whatever, but I would feel really bad if she got sick in front of me, or I'd feel really bad if I died in front of her.
You
so
both
I have
would
probably
be
been
fine.
going.
Yeah, we all had it.
You both would be fine. You're
Like
a
me, like
strong individual.
everybody in
I got to that point, but I was like, fuck it. I got to get corona. Because I don't know because none of our friends, no one's had it. And I almost feel like I should get it.
We've all had
but
it.
actually, people have had it.
We've all had it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know
safe.
a few people who've had it too, but then,
Don't
one of
press
the
send on
people we
those emails.
mutually know, that I don't want to blow up their spot, but I heard they're in the hospital again. And is that related?
Not related to corona.
No, not related to corona.
No.
That's meant.
And
Okay,
that
okay.
person that you're talking about got corona in the hospital, tested positive, healthier than ever. Strength, if anything, like exponentially increased. And by the time she or they or he or them was negative, there was no. And we're not talking like healthy as an ox here. We're talking, thin, pale. But
Yeah, I mean,
that
and-
person never
and my
suffered from the corona.
And I
I
know
think
somebody.
they had a cough.
Well, I know somebody really close to me who they even went to the point where they had the fingers and the toes and lost the smell and the taste. But they say that the fingers and the toes are better now, and the sense of smell and taste are better than they've ever been. So
Yeah, I mean, I had that in February. Like it. And
Oh yeah,
most
my
people,
dad was like, I lost my sense of taste. I'm like, are you sure, Dad? He exiled himself, like got through it. He's self-cured, self-diagnosed, self-recovered, But like, I feel I could lose my sense. I've convinced myself so many times that I've had corona that, I could lose my sense of taste just thinking about
even
it.
as a smoker, like you start as a smoker, you're like, I can't smell anything right now, and it's like I'm just stuffy because there's allergens and I've been smoking.
Yeah.
But it's like you just you're like, I can't smell anything right now. Can I smell it? It's like, okay, now I do smell something. I smell garbage, so I can smell. That's good at least. But no, I had read a thing, and I'm still. There was one doctor who had said something that after the initial phase 1 respiratory stuff cleared up, that it basically goes dormant inside of the nervous system like herpes does, and then a couple months later it can come back up, and that's when the blood clots and the aneurysms and all of that stuff, and like we're seeing with the children who weren't showing the symptoms of the respiratory stuff, but they're suddenly showing was it Kawasaki disease?
Kawasaki syndrome.
Kawasaki disease.
Yeah.
So I don't, at this point, I don't know if there is a phase 2. And I know people who have been infected who have not gone to phase 2. But then I also know people who have had aneurysms and strokes and kind of, I mean, I don't know if it's related or not. So I've been really hesitant trying not to, especially before moving, because once we decided to move, I was like, I cannot move an entire apartment from the 3rd floor with respiratory disease. So I really don't want to get it. So
I can't believe that's huge.
I'm a lot less freaked out about getting it now. I've been doing everything I can to prevent that, and now having done the things I can do, I can relax. So instead of being paranoid, I just do the things to keep things kind of safe and comfortable for me. So that's.
I'm glad you sound good. You sound okay, because I was hearing things from Coriander. I was a little worried about you for a minute. I was like, is he going Howard Hughes? And Coriander's like, well, what would that entail? I'm like, well, he's not cutting his fingernails. He may be like laying in a dark room naked with just a pink napkin over his penile, watching movies and drinking milk and eating chocolate bars. And she said, it's not that severe yet.
Storing his urine in jars.
It never got that bad, but there were a couple of dark sort of days. The worst thing that I'd spent a day on it was either Facebook or Twitter, and I think it was Twitter, and this woman posted this letter that her husband was doing some dishes and he had a stroke while he was doing dishes and he died, and she went on his cell phone and he had written her a text message saying, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be with you. I just want you to know that I love you, and it's okay if you remarry, and it's okay if Bobby has a new daddy. And I took care of the bank accounts and everything, and I just want to.
And then he came back to life. Okay.
And then he died, and she ended up reading that message, and she's like, oh, and then here I am reading this message on Twitter, and I'm like, oh my God, what if I'm doing dishes and I die and Katie's all alone?
So did you write the note?
Yeah.
Well, I never wrote the note, but I did make sure all the bank accounts and everything have her on them. So if anything were to happen to me, she would be taken care of.
You realize that I think it's really hard to send a coherent text message when you're having a stroke.
Paranoid sweetness.
What's that?
Are you sure that wasn't just like a fake post?
Well, it is weird. You don't predict a stroke. I don't even think.
You can't even speak.
Even if you lose your sense of taste.
You can't even speak when you have a stroke.
It was some sort of a stroke or an aneurysm. I don't, and to be entirely honest, for the sake of the conversation, it could have been entirely fake. But the whole concept of being like at any given moment, whether it's COVID, or whether
it's never believe what happens next.
Loosely sketched out clickbait.
I mean, whether it's COVID, whether it's anything. I mean, the fact that I could just be in the kitchen doing dishes and die, and have her be alone and not taken care of, I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a little better care of myself, and I'm going to cover a couple bases to make sure she's taken care of. So
that's good. Contemplating one's mortality.
I aspire to get to this point of my existential crisis where you are, Spooner, because I think you're at a good point. You've considered a lot of options of life and the world, and you've made productive measures, And I think whenever I stop my Real Housewives marathon, I might try and consider some of these things.
But I think the hardest thing to do is just get the momentum started, get it going. Like I'll sit there and I'll be staring. I'll put something on YouTube, trying to find something on YouTube that makes me laugh or feel funny or good enough to actually get my ass off the couch to do something.
Kenny.
But then once I'm doing it, like I feel so much better that I'm actually doing things. But it's actually just trying to get going and get that motor turning. It's like jerking that string on the lawnmower type of thing.
Yeah, you don't want to stop once you get there.
You're
just
reminding me
going.
of a movie I saw.
Exactly. Once I'm there, I want to do it like it's 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm still doing it. But it's like getting going is the thing that's the toughest.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, you sound pretty good, man. You sound healthy.
Well, thank you. I mean, it's been tough, and I know I've been a bit of a handful for Katie, and it's been quite. I
feel like Katie's chained up in a dresser right now because she's not talking to us.
Yes, she is.
Oh, she's at the lake.
What's
That's
that?
right. I'm like, she's not like
Oh,
in a
no,
dresser
she's at
you
the
ordered from
river,
Wayfair
yeah.
right now. Like, you know.
No,
No, I
she
locked her
was
in the
there.
room so she can't talk. This is my
Yeah,
conversation.
yeah,
Everything's
this is my
fine.
time.
Everything's
you know
fine.
she would take over.
She actually the other day, I think probably about 250 50 yards, she bushwhacked to make a path down to the river. So she hung up a hammock down by the river, and she's reading some Tolstoy down there because she wanted.
That's wonderful.
She wanted to give me some private time to talk on the radio, just in case I decided to talk about any of the things we're kind of doing, or if she wanted to give me some space to kind of talk and shoot the shit, and not think that she's kind of like trying to butt in or like tell me what to say or anything. So
I love them. I
I
love
know,
my
they're
family. They're being so good to each other.
cute.
I'm so proud of you guys.
I mean, it's work. It's
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's been a really tough 4 months, and like, 'cause I've like I said, I used to go away every day, and then I would come back at night, and there was sort of a person that I was and a routine that there was and everything, and now all of that's absolutely gone. And so it's like Katie was used to this person who had a little bit of mystery, who had a little bit of time to themselves, who had, when I was at work, I would learn things over the course of the day. I'd get certain things done. I'd come home and share things about what I'd done. But when I'm home all day trying to unpack and like going through receipts and crap that I need to kind of go through to get moved into the new place, it's boring. It's not fun. And I think one of the things in relationships is it's really important to keep the other person sort of entertained and spend time with them and keep things sort of interesting. And it's been a lot of work I've been trying to do by myself here. And I've been trying to like protect, like, Katie, I'll do this. I don't want you to do it, just in case there's corona on it. I'll clean this thing off.
Oh
I'll
my
disinfect
God.
this thing. I'll disinfect this thing.
I think you got to sign on to you both getting corona if one of you gets it.
Well, if one of us
Yeah, that's
gets
kind
it,
of
Yeah,
a
we'll
given. That's
both
like,
get
it's
it.
like, yeah, one of you gets
it's gonna
it, we're both
happen.
getting it. Like,
Separate
yeah.
dishes is too far.
So I mean, but at a certain point, it just became kind of non-functional, and so I've been trying to refocus because I will be, I'll say on live radio that I've been negligent to my beautiful, wonderful wife, and I'm trying to make more of an effort now. So yeah,
I doubt it.
She wanted to give me some space to kind of be able to kind of talk and be me and not have to try to like invade the conversation or try to,
Aw.
That's so beautiful because and you both are, and I think that we should have Coriander on next week to
Yes.
talk about you.
that would be great. I'm sure, because she's very funny, so she's got a very humorous firsthand account of what she's been having to endure with me here.
Yes, and I'm sure she has tons to say because of course she does. That thinker over there, has been pent up, and I hope that you guys will let me come over sometime.
Well, and I've been trying to, like, we're at a point now where we can actually go outside, and there's this sculptor who lives across the street, and he's got these two dogs, and one of them's 17 years old, and it's the cutest little old dying dog you've ever seen. And Katie wants to be best friends with this dog, but she hasn't got to meet it yet because she was in quarantine when it ran over in our yard. She wanted to run out, but she's like, I don't want to get the dog sick. But,
Oh my God, she was in. What do you mean she was in quarantine?
well, we moved up to Vermont, and we had movers help us with loading up one truck full of stuff. Katie helped unload everything. Like, it was pretty impressive. We had movers move a couple of the big things into the apartment, or into the truck, but she moved, like, she helped me drag the Hammond organ down the stairs. Like, that thing
She's a
weighs like
powerhouse.
500 pounds.
Oh shit.
So she's amazing. But we moved here a couple weeks ago, and there's all the things saying if you move, you have to quarantine for 2 weeks to make sure you don't get sick, because there's not a lot of people up here, and there's not a lot of virus. So the last thing we'd want to do is be the thing that gets half of the state sick. So
I don't think you will be the thing, and even if you are the thing, I don't think they'll catch you. And in addition to that, I don't think dogs can get corona.
as all of our 70-year-old neighbors start dying, we'll just be like, no, we feel fine.
You can't,
Don't
because
worry.
in that case, it's like there's always, it's like, I feel like that scenario is like, you can blame yourself. You know, it's like pretty much everyone that's ever died near me, other than my grandmother, who I took care of until she died, I blame myself on some level for their death. And I know that it's not really my fault, but it's like, if you know, you can't start blaming yourself for corona, because there's a lot of things in this world.
I definitely agree with that, and I think that's part of the reason why when we got here, we just made sure that we didn't really we had done our shopping in Massachusetts before we left, and we just kind of hung out. I mean, we went out in the yard, like it's not, we weren't totally isolated, and we didn't wear the mask inside all the time or anything, like that's ridiculous. But no, we just tried to make sure we didn't get any of the neighbors sick, which seems to have worked, and now we're past quarantine, and yeah, Katie's hanging out by the river.
Nice, dude. Thanks for calling in, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna.
It's I was in the middle of doing. We got the part of the disinfecting regimen. I know you were talking about bleach earlier. Bleach is good for floors unless you got wooden floors, in which case that'll stain your floors. But you can buy on Amazon. I don't want to like give plugs to Amazon because Jeff Bezos is a bit of a. But they got these lamps where it's got generally they have two wavelengths of light. One of them is UVC, and then it lets through I think 180 nanometers or something, which allows through ozone. And you don't want to be in the room, because if you stare at UVC or get it on your skin, that's a good way to burn out your eyes or get skin cancer. But in hospital rooms, that's how they disinfect hospital rooms. So you have to let it run, and then you have to give it, an hour to let it air out, to let the ozone turn back into regular oxygen. But for people who are paranoid about getting COVID and if I need to disinfect something, how can I disinfect something? Don't be a dumbass and try to like inhale ozone into your lungs, because that'll destroy your lungs. And don't try to, there's no way you can get UVC inside of you. So all of those memes, don't try to be a dumbass, because that'll kill you, or at least give you a very unpleasant day. But using a UVC light can disinfect rooms if people are concerned about the virus, or if you happen to get infected and you're concerned about getting reinfected and you want to clean out a space. That's one of the best things you can do. So that's just another little piece of COVID advice for people out there.
Well, you know what? I think if you're willing, we're going to hire you as our conspiracy/COVID correspondent, because you are super helpful and obviously an expert.
I'm not. I mean, I appreciate the calling the expert, but I'm just a guy who read stuff, and I want to try to help other people, and I don't claim that anything I'm saying is 100% true or factual. And if there's anything that I've said that interests you, I encourage you to go read it and take a look at it, because I'll say some things in jest, but other things I'm just trying to be helpful. So maybe something will be able to help you that I said. So I'd love to do anything I can do to help you guys.
I think you've done a lot, and we'd be good to have you on our side, because, I'm just out here spreading misinformation willy-nilly without a care.
And diseases.
But that's, that's an off-air. I got a prescription for you, okay? I will, if I do give you a disease, I will do my best to get you the right salve.
Well, and one of the things that's really one of the things you can do is like vitamin C is really good for it. It's amazing that one of the things you can, if you happen to end up in a hospital with COVID, before they get you on the
vitamin C.
Vitamin C, and there's if you've never Jarva, go research liposomal vitamin C, because you can only take, if you take a vitamin C, if you take over like 2,000 milligrams, you're going to start having like orange pee, and you're going to start getting diarrhea and stuff. You can only take so much vitamin C, because it doesn't get digested in your system properly. But there's a way, it's called liposomal vitamin C, where you're able to encapsulate it in fat, basically, like from sunflower oil, and you can get more of it in your system. And it's been shown that you can totally stall any development of COVID with simple use of liposomal vitamin C. Like, it doesn't cure it, but you can stop it from progressing any farther if you do happen to have it. So
I think my Yeah, is it like a packet? I think my holistic dentist actually takes this stuff. It's like in a packet, and you put it in your mouth and kind of hold it in your mouth.
I think you can do that, or what I do is you can actually make it yourself. You get it's sunflower lecithin, and you get vitamin C, and then you stick it inside of a ultrasonic jewelry cleaner, and you just let it shake and vibrate, and then you can drink it, and you can't really overdose on it. It's like the amount you can take. You can take like 20 milligrams a day and not have any adverse effects. Like, you want to space it out, but liposomal vitamin C can keep you incredibly healthy. And actually, liposomal vitamin C will prevent COVID. Our bodies don't create vitamin C like most other animals do. So if we give our bodies vitamin C on a regular basis, it'll kind of stop most illnesses. So liposomal vitamin C is a game changer.
Nice.
Yes, I love that. I wonder, we should try and get them to sponsor us. Liposomal.
Okay.
Liposomal vitamin C. When I go on, we
So I get no
Are you
money
worried about your health?
sponsoring any of these products, but
Why don't you try
they might be helpful to people.
Sponsored by Spooners.
Why don't you try
When you're
Spooners
dying
Linosone? What was the rest of that word?
the COVID,
Now in cherry flavored.
and you don't want orange
Thank you very much, Spooner, for being on the show.
You
Jarva, any
can
last
Really, I'll be
words?
listening, and
this
I'll talk to Katie about if maybe get her on next week.
Dope.
I love you, Eric. Tell Katie that we love her, and
Yes.
yeah, try and secure that interview for us if you could.
That'd be wonderful.
I will do my best for you guys,
I would love
and
to.
I love you guys, and I'll be listening.
Bye, dudes.
Love you.
Bye.
And if you're
Any last words?
dying of corona, do you get that? This is a vitamin C joke about the singer with the orange hair
Oh, yeah.
that
Was that?
sang that graduation song about corona prefiguration light. But if
Bye.
you need that
Oh man.
diarrhea